Well, good afternoon. Thank you very much, everybody, for being here. My name is Haya Down. I'm the CEO and founder of a gold exploration company active in Namibia. It's called Osino Resources. We're not there by accident. We are there because of me. I'm a Namibian-born citizen, mining engineer. I've worked there as an engineer for Rio Tinto and others, and I have built I have defined and delivered a gold project in Namibia, which I ended up selling to Beaty Gold a couple of years ago, and it turned into a highly profitable gold mine. So after that success, that was in 2012, I decided, let me try and do it again. And that's really what Osino is all about. So we've been around for about 4 years. As a private company, initially, we went public a year ago. Initially, as a sort of a consolidation play, like putting together a large land package, positioning some key shareholders, and then getting going with exploration. And then very recently, we actually made a very significant discovery. So I believe that we are now, you can call us an advanced explorer for sure. And I would say that in a year's time, when I stand there, I'll be calling myself a developer. So let me tell you the story briefly. So for those of you who haven't been there, Namibia is obviously a very, very easy and pleasant country to operate in. As an American audience, I guess I should say, imagine it to be like Texas. My folks are cattle ranchers there. It's really simple to operate there, and lots of mines have been built and developed there. And so it's a very receptive environment for mining and exploration capital and development. We are backed by a real sort of Mercedes-Benz group of shareholders, primarily Ross Beaty. He's a sort of big name in Canadian mining finance. He owns 18%. After I sold my previous project to Beaty Gold, I became involved in a company in Ecuador which got merged into a Ross Beaty company. Basically, I sold him a company, and he got to know me in that process, and he sort of took a liking to me and said he'll invest in my next deal, which is this one. So he owns 18%, and with him came a whole group of people that have backed him. So then there's RCF out of Denver. They own about 8% and a bunch of Toronto money, and also my own family. So my parents, my brother, myself, we have about $1.5, almost $2 million invested in this company, and I've followed every financing. You can look it up on SETI, like the last financing we did, I put in $240,000. So we are very much aligned. We're a $50 million market cap company at the moment. We've re-rated lately. So I hear quite a few people are saying, oh, well, we've missed it. I'm saying, no, you haven't missed it. That re-rating has just been, or it reflects us evolving from a sort of greenfields explorer to something with a real project, which I'll tell you about. Share structure is straightforward, 67 million shares. It's fairly tightly held. And, a few warrants, nothing funny in there. So I would say, in summary, or let's say the key aspects of Osino is we're a good management team. We've done it before. We've raised money. We've built companies and sold companies. We're in a great country, very receptive. We've got a good portfolio of assets, and we've got some very strong shareholders. So just a bit more detail. So I have a Canadian partner. I'm based in Cape Town, by the way, so I'm very much the doer, the sort of getting stuff done person. I'm the CEO and founder, and I have a partner in Toronto who has had quite a lot of success in his own right, and he did this with me when we sold the previous company to Beaty Gold. So he's my guiding hand in terms of capital. And then we have some very competent geologists that have brought us to this point and that have made what we think is quite an exciting new discovery. Okay, so we're in Namibia. It's in southwestern Africa. Just a few key geological aspects. So it's an orogenic environment, meaning it's related to plate tectonics and to big regional structures. So that informs our exploration approach. But it is also largely covered, meaning the sort of rock is covered by overburden. So it's like Western Australia. Now, in Western Australia in the last 10 years, a lot of success has been had with exploration in known gold belts, but undercover. And we have very much applied that thinking and that innovation, those techniques to Namibia, which is similar. I mean, Namibia has been fairly explored by some major mining companies, but we have just made a discovery 20 kilometers away from a world-class 8 million ounce resource. That's quite something. And we achieved that by, as I said, applying these Australian techniques of exploring through cover. So we see the cover as a a challenge or a threat on the one hand because it makes exploration difficult, but at the same time it's an opportunity because, the major discoveries these days are going to be made through cover. All the low-hanging fruit have been found, and I believe we are on the forefront of something like that. So that's our license position. I think I mentioned earlier, so the first step was to put something credible together. So we have about 6,000 or 7,000 square kilometers of prospective licenses in Namibia. The idea clearly with this company is to do it again, meaning build something credible and then to sell it. I think that's what the junior business is all about, and I've done that before. So in order to do that, you need to have scale. And so we have land position scale, and now we are in the process of sort of putting meat on the bone and creating, let me say, geological or resource scale. So we're focusing down at the bottom. You can see that sort of red square. That's where we consolidated a bunch of licenses. I'm going to zoom into that. So that's what you're looking at there is about 50 kilometers from sort of bottom left to top right. What brought us into this area was a big 8 million ounce Anglo gold mine, or medium scale gold mine called Navachab. It's been sold subsequently, but it's a world-class gold resource, and there were some known occurrences. So we then took a fresh look at it, brought in a new approach, and we made this discovery in the center there, which so far is a very large gold system, about 15 kilometers. It's a big soil anomaly. It's kind of a textbook setting. We have some great intercepts that have gone in there, and we're now in the process of doing a 10,000 meter drill program between now and the end of the year. So we got 4 drill rigs on site drilling. So lots of news flow between now and the end of the year. And the idea is to turn this discovery into a very significant resource. I think significant, 1-2 million ounces plus. And I think that's what will get us onto the radar screen of producers. So just some detail on the discovery. I'm not going to go into too much there. It's sediment hosted. These type of deposits are generally quite continuous, lower grade, disseminated, but they tend to be very large. So they truly lend themselves to sort of multi-million ounce potential. And that's what we're interested in. And also because of their continuity, they obviously lend themselves to mine development. And I mean, Namibia has 2 such mines, and I was involved in the development of one of them. And B2 has done a great job demonstrating how profitable these type of mines can be, even at relatively low grades of just over a gram per ton. That's our model. That's what we're looking to find. I believe we have found one such deposit, and we are now in the process of developing that, or of exploring that rather, to get it to the development stage. So that's really it. So in summary, we know what we're doing. We've got a good team, both in terms of capital, but also technically speaking. We've done it before. We've built companies before and sold companies before. We're in a great jurisdiction, not just politically and socioeconomically, also from an exploration sense. It's very prospective, and like I said, it's largely undercover, so I believe there are many treasures hidden and yet to be found. We have very good financial backing. Ross Beaty, resource capital funds out of Denver own 8%, and a bunch of other people. We have about $4 million in the bank right now, $3 million. We're spending 2 or 3 between now and the end of the year, and I think on good drill results, we're going to be doing a financing later this year or early next year. And I think 2020 is going to be all about drilling to bring these answers to book. So that's it. That's Osino.